Hello and welcome to Good Simple Food. I am Michael. Tonight we're going to make easy chicken noodle soup. While we were raising kids and super busy with careers and all the different activities the kids had, we still tried to cook fresh as much as possible. Yes, there were chicken nuggets and smiley fries, but when we could, we cooked as much fresh as possible. So this is a quick, easy version of chicken noodle soup. This is not going to compete with your grandmother's family recipe. But this is really good and really fresh, and it really doesn't take that long. So I started off tonight. I took 4 quarts of low sodium chicken broth. The store brand is fine. If you want to go organic, do organic. I got those boiling in a pot. I added a teaspoon of dry thyme and a teaspoon of dry oregano and a small package of chicken breasts. It's about 1.5 pounds. Trimmed them up, threw them in, cooked them for about 15 minutes. Based doneness on the size of the chicken breast, 15 to 20 minutes based on the size of the chicken breast. So I pulled those out and we'll get back to those in a minute. The rest of this is super simple. We've got a little bit of onion. We've got some celery, some carrot, and some fresh parsley. A lot of recipes like you to sweat the vegetables or saute the vegetables lightly to soften them up before you put them in the pot. I like to do mine from raw. I cut them a little bit smaller so they'll cook, but I don't want mushy vegetables and I don't want to pre-cook them at all. I want the juice, the natural juice that comes out of the vegetables to go into the soup as well. So we're going to start with, we got a little onion here. Because we're not cooking this very long, I'm going to mince the onion up kind of fine. I don't want super large chunks. I love onion. A lot of people are a little more sensitive to onion. It's kind of a strong flavor. So and we're just going to kind of do a mince on that. And I really like the freshness of the vegetables. I always put a little extra vegetables into the soup. I like the celery and the carrots, the onion. I love that part of the soup as much as the chicken. So this was always very popular, especially when the kids were younger. Fall rolls around and we start making soup. Now, fall, how about the definition of fall? Now, in certain parts of the country, fall means, a chill in the air and sweater weather and those things. We live in Central Texas, and what fall means is it's below 100 now. So still, when fall rolls around, we start making soup, making chili, things like that. So this was always a favorite among the kids, and it was something that I was able to do on an average school night without taking too much time out of the busy schedule. So make sure you don't get your fingers too close, get those curled under so you don't lose any fingers in the process. The soup doesn't taste as good with finger in it. There we go. And I would typically not bore you with chopping vegetables, but what I'm trying to show you here is, like from scratch, how easy this really is to make fresh versus pulling something out of a can or a bag or something else. The fresh vegetables, the flavors, the fresh herbs, the fresh parsley, it's really far superior to anything you're going to get that's pre-made, and it really doesn't take much time. I mean, I opened up 4 containers of chicken broth. I put them in the pot. I got the pot simmering. I trimmed up a couple of chicken breasts and threw them in. Let those cook for 15 minutes, and then you can chop your vegetables while that's cooking. So when that 15 to 20 minutes is up, your vegetables will be chopped and ready to go in, and it's really this simple. So here we go. So here's our vegetables, and I'm going to go ahead and let's get those into the pot, and then we'll come back and get our chicken. There we go. Lots of goodies, and this does not take very long to cook. So once we get this rolling, you can pick this up and put this down as you're getting your evening chores done and helping the kids with their homework and whatever all those various things are that you do. So we're gonna put this in the pot. I actually turned this down so my stock wouldn't evaporate. So let's get that rolling again. There we go. And then our chicken. So I've already done one of these, but I just took a couple of chicken breasts, cooked them in the stock with a little bit of thyme and oregano, and shredded these off. We're going to chop that up just a little bit more. But just take a couple of forks. You got a chicken breast that's cooked all the way through. Just take a couple of forks and shred it up. This is super simple, not rocket science. Just, we're not, nothing has to be super exact. I really kind of size everything so when you dip your spoon in the bowl, you can get everything on your spoon without, if things are too big, they're kind of falling off and splashing back in to the bowl. So I'm kind of getting these where you can get a little bit of everything in each spoonful. Here we go. And then after I get this kind of shredded down, then I'm just going to run the knife through it a little bit and make it a little bit smaller. And like I said, a little bit easier to manage with your soup spoon. There we go. All right, and we're going to now add this back in the pot. So the chicken's already cooked for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the size of your chicken breast. The stock we had in there now has a little extra chicken juice in it, has some thyme and oregano. We're going to add our chicken back into the pot. Perfect. And then, oh, I forgot my parsley, so let's add our parsley back in. So when I bring parsley home from the store, and I do this with cilantro too, parsley doesn't last very long in a refrigerator. So as soon as I get it home, I rinse it off, clean it up a little bit if there's some parts that need to go away. And then I shake off the excess water, and then I shake the rest into a paper towel. I got a couple of paper towels doubled up here. And then I now have this damp paper towel, and I simply just wrap it in the paper towel, put it in a gallon bag in the fridge. And I'm telling you, in a week, this will look just like you pulled it out of the section in the grocery store. It keeps it super fresh, super dry. It doesn't get kind of moldy and nasty on the end. So just kind of rough chop this. I like the fresh parsley. It gives a nice earthy quality to the soup. And to me, it's just not chicken soup without some parsley in there. There we go. All right. So that's that. Let our parsley in. Perfect. Just give this a quick stir. And again, because I didn't pre-saute the vegetables and everything's raw, I want to make sure it kind of gets soft. I don't want mushy vegetables, but I do want them soft. You don't want crunch in your vegetables. So I'm going to cook this covered. And we're going to cook this about 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and add noodles. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. So let's pop the top here. So I told you at the beginning, I usually use low sodium chicken stock. And I do that with soups because a soup's cooked, all the steam that's coming off, that's water evaporating. So whatever salt content you have in there is going to get intensified as the steam evaporates from the soup. So once it's in there, you can't take it out. So right before I put the noodles in, this is what I want to test for salt. So let's see where we are. It's pretty good, but it does need a little salt. I think I'm going to add, this is a gallon of water. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt there. And that'll get us to where we're going. And then we're going to add our egg noodles. So this is about, usually the big bags of egg noodles are about 16 ounces. This is about 8 ounces of egg noodles. So I'm going to add my egg noodles. And stir those in a little bit, get them mixed in with everything. And then we're going to give this about 10 minutes. I'm going to cover again. We're going to give this about 10 minutes, and then we're going to be ready for soup. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Noodles are done. Looking good. Give that a little stir. Oh man, that smells great. All right. Let's plate it up. That looks pretty darn good. All right, so here you go. Average, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday night during the week. Come home in less than an hour, maybe right at an hour, you have fresh homemade chicken noodle soup. And 30 minutes of that time, it was just simmering in the pot. So you got about 30 minutes worth of work to get homemade chicken noodle soup that's way better than anything you're going to get out of a can. I hope you'll subscribe and follow us, and I hope you'll enjoy the soup. Have a great night.